Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are talking about the difference between toxicity and passion. In high school, I used to be obsessed with this one show called The Jersey Shore. This was a show where a bunch of strangers got together in one house and they would party together a lot. I like to view this show as the real world on crack. This show was so freaking entertaining, and it put the entire US and the entire world on notice. This show was not going away anytime soon. Now, as the show progressed, what happened was that two of the co-stars began to fall for each other, Ronnie and Sam. And just before recording this episode, I was watching this 1-hour documentary on the relationship of Ronnie and Sam. And the person who made the documentary, he was talking about how these two got together and broke up 16 times. Just imagine, how the heck do you get together and break up 16 times? As you watch that show, you realize that this is a very monstrous couple. They are confusing toxicity as passion. And it's very easy to confuse the two because they have one core element in common. Both toxicity and passion have emotional roller coasters in common. And what I mean by that is that more than one emotion is being felt. Have you ever heard of the phrase, nice guys finish last? These nice guys, they're so freaking sweet. They're going on these dates. They're saying all the right things. But for some reason, these women are rejecting the nice guy and getting with the bad boy. Why? The reason why is because the nice guy only makes them feel one emotion, which is safe, while the bad boy makes the women feel multiple emotions, which allows her to view the bad boy as passionate. So toxicity and passion both have emotional roller coasters in common. How do they differ? It's very tricky to answer that because you could say, well, toxic people leave other people worse off, while passionate people leave other people better off. And sure, that's a very simplistic response, and I would say that's actually the answer. That is the answer, okay? Toxic people leave people worse off, while passionate people leave people better off. And this answer works beautifully in theory. But in the real world, it's very difficult to identify what is passionate and what is toxicity. And I believe Sam and Ron, it's a beautiful case study on spotting the difference between these two words. Because nowadays, Ron and Sammy, they're broken up and they've had a long time of a gap between their relationship. And Ronnie is still in a lot of these chaotic relationships. But Sam, she seems more level-headed. And whenever someone asks Sam, didn't you understand that you were in a toxic relationship back then? Her current self says, oh yeah, I can understand. But I truly do believe that you don't just get together and break up with someone 16 times if you view that situation as toxic. I believe nowadays she sees her past self in a toxic relationship. But I believe when she was actually going through that experience, she viewed it as a passionate relationship. The experiences, it didn't change. It's simply the interpretation of the data that changed because now she matured. This is why I sometimes empathize with these folks that just keep staying in this toxic relationship, even though you're using all the logic with them. Like, dude, you gotta break up with this person. I know you think it's passionate, but as an outside observer, someone that has no dog in the fight, you are not in a passionate relationship. You're in a toxic one. And they just don't listen to me. Why? They don't listen because For them right now, they're feeling the multiple emotions and they view it as passion. They feel as though they're being left better off than worse off. And that's why they think this relationship with this person is a positive sum. In reality, passion and toxicity are not that different. They both have emotional roller coasters in common. In Booksmart's world, it's very easy to spot the difference, but when you're actually going through the experience, it's very difficult to spot the difference. So if you see someone in a toxic relationship, just understand you view it as toxic, but more often than not, they view it as passion that lights up their life. And unfortunately, this is one of those situations where you gotta learn the lesson the hard way. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.